It started with a voice cutting through the restless murmur of the airport terminal, a desperate voice, cracking yet stubbornly refusing to break. "Please, anyone, just a few dollars so my boy can eat." People glanced, then quickly looked away, their polished shoes clicking on the marble floor, eyes glued to phones. The beggar stood by the automatic doors where cold air kept rushing in, hugging herself tighter each time it did. Her jeans were torn at the knees, a thrift store coat hanging awkwardly on her thin shoulders. One hand clutched a duct-taped backpack, the other held a trembling boy no older than 7, his hair messy, his sneakers worn to threads. The boy stared at the floor, shoulders hunched like he was trying to disappear. And somewhere near the first-class lounge, a man in a tailored navy suit, leather shoes gleaming like mirrors, had just paused mid-stride. Eyes narrowing slightly as he noticed them, Ethan Cole never stopped for anyone. At 38, the tech CEO was the sort who could book a private jet at midnight or sign a deal over espresso in Rome by morning. The world had taught him to keep moving, keep winning. Yet something in that woman's face, a mixture of pride and exhaustion, made him hesitate. Her lips trembled when she spoke to passers-by, but her gaze was steady, almost defiant, like she refused to fully surrender to the pity she was asking for. He shifted the strap of his leather briefcase, frowning faintly. Why was he even standing here? He had a meeting in Chicago, a board expecting answers, shareholders breathing down his neck. And yet, the woman tried one more time. "Ma'am, please, just bus fare. He hasn't eaten since yesterday." Her voice cracked on the last word. A woman in a sleek red coat tossed her a glance, then dropped a crumpled bill in the donation cup without slowing her stride. A few others ignored her completely. The boy's small hand clutched his mother's frayed sleeve tighter. Ethan found himself stepping closer before he'd even decided to. "Hey," he said, his voice low, unsure. "You okay?" She blinked at him like she wasn't sure he was real. Up close, he saw the dark circles under her eyes, the wind-tangled hair escaping her hood, the duct tape on the backpack straps. But he also saw the boy's stubborn chin, the mother's straight posture even in defeat. "We're fine," she said too quickly, like a reflex. Then softer, "Just rough week. Bus ticket home's more than I thought." Home. That word landed somewhere deep in Ethan's chest. He cleared his throat. "Where's home?" "Duluth," she said. "My sister said she could take us in." Her voice caught on the next part. If we can get there. He could have handed her money right there. But something told him this wasn't just about bus fare. The woman's eyes kept darting toward her son. As if afraid he might hear too much, the boy suddenly whispered, "Mom, I'm cold." His voice was thin, like paper tearing. That did it. Ethan pulled out his wallet. But then a security officer appeared, frowning. "Ma'am, you can't solicit here," the officer said. The mother stiffened. "We're not, rules are rules," the officer said, glancing at Ethan like he expected him to move along too. Ethan surprised himself. "She's with me," he said sharply. "Problem?" The officer looked at Ethan's Rolex, the tailored suit, the aura of a man used to boardrooms, not begging strangers. The officer stepped back, muttering, "Just keep it down." The mother stared at Ethan, startled. "You didn't have to—" "Come on," Ethan said, gesturing toward the cafe. Warm light spilled onto the terminal floor, the smell of coffee and baked bread cutting through the cold air. She hesitated, then followed, clutching the boy's hand. Inside, the contrast hit like a punch. People laughed over lattes, laptops hummed, baristas called orders. And at a corner table, under soft yellow light, sat a woman whose entire life seemed to fit inside one battered backpack. Ethan ordered sandwiches, soup, hot chocolate. When the food came, the boy ate like he didn't trust it would still be there in a minute. Ethan studied the mother. She ate slowly, like each bite carried weight. He noticed the calluses on her hands, the way she kept brushing her hair back nervously. "You have family in Duluth?" he asked. She nodded. "My sister. After my husband passed, things got bad." "Bills, rent?" She swallowed hard. "Lost the apartment last month. Been staying at shelters since." Ethan's chest tightened. He'd grown up in comfort. He'd never once worried about a roof over his head. And then, halfway through the meal, her phone buzzed. She checked it and the color drained from her face. "What is it?" Ethan asked. Her lips trembled. "My sister says she can't take us after all. Her landlord won't allow kids. We have nowhere to go." The boy froze mid-bite. The cafe noise dimmed in Ethan's ears. He sat back slowly, heartbeat loud, realizing this was far bigger than he'd thought. Ethan stared at them, the mother gripping her son's shoulder like she could shield him from the whole collapsing world. The boy's eyes darted between them, wide and waiting, a crust of bread still in his hand. Around them, the cafe carried on, coffee machines hissing, people laughing softly over glowing screens, oblivious to the fact that a woman and child at the corner table had just been cut loose from the last thread holding their lives together. He cleared his throat, trying to sound practical even though something twisted hard in his chest. What about a shelter? Tonight, I mean. Her smile was small and bitter. They fill up fast. We got lucky last week, but most nights we just ride the bus till morning. The words landed like stones. Ethan glanced at the boy's sneakers, the fabric worn down till the toes peeked through. He imagined them riding a bus all night, the boy trying to sleep upright, the mother staring out at the dark city with nowhere to go. He rubbed a hand over his jaw, feeling the roughness there, the unfamiliar sensation of not knowing what to do. She seemed to sense his hesitation, because she straightened, shoulders back. Look, I appreciate the meal, really. We'll figure it out. But the way she brushed her hair behind her ear too quickly gave her away. The way her other hand trembled slightly under the table, Ethan leaned back, mind spinning. He had a condo in the city, empty half the time because he was always traveling. He had money that sat in accounts gathering dust. He had everything, and this woman had nothing but a tired child and a broken backpack. And yet he knew he couldn't just offer her some hotel room like she was a problem to be solved. Pride clung to her like armor, so he asked carefully, if you could start over, what would you need? She blinked, caught off guard. Her lips parted, then closed again. A job, she said finally. Something steady. A place where my kid can sleep without worrying about cops or curfews. She laughed softly, bitterly. But that's not how life works, right? Ethan felt something shift inside him. Maybe it was the way the boy leaned against his mother, already half asleep from the heat and food. Maybe it was the memory of his own mother, gone too soon, her hands always warm even when money was tight before his father made it big. He remembered her saying once, "You'll understand the value of a full fridge one day." He pulled out his phone, fingers moving before doubt could creep in. "What are you doing?" she asked. "Calling someone," he said simply. Within minutes, a man in a dark coat appeared at the cafe entrance. Marcus, Ethan's driver, with the calm efficiency of someone used to impossible requests. Ethan stood. "Marcus, book a suite at the Marriott. 2 beds, tonight, and we'll figure out the rest." The woman shook her head instantly. "No, I can't let you. It's done," Ethan said gently but firmly. "1 night to sleep. That's all. No strings." She opened her mouth, closed it, opened it again. "Why? You don't even know us." Ethan glanced at the boy slumped against her side. "Because no kid should spend the night on a bus." The hotel room was warm, with clean sheets and a view of the city lights. The boy fell asleep within minutes, clutching the new blanket Marcus had bought on the way. The mother stood by the window, arms wrapped around herself. "I don't know how to thank you," she said quietly. Ethan slipped a business card on the table. "Come by my office Monday. We'll talk about work. We always need people at the company." She turned, eyes shining in the dim light. "Are you serious?" He nodded. "Everyone needs a start. Maybe this is yours." For a long moment she just looked at him, the city glow reflected in her tired eyes. Then she whispered, "You just changed our whole life, you know that?" Ethan shook his head slowly. "No, you'll change it. I'm just giving it a push." When he left, the boy stirred in his sleep, curling deeper into the blanket, safe for the first time in weeks. The mother watched Ethan go, a hand over her mouth like she couldn't quite believe any of it. And somewhere in the hallway outside, Ethan paused, realizing this felt better than any deal he'd closed in years, because sometimes the smallest kindness wasn't small at all. It was everything.